पश्येत् अकर्मणि च कर्म यः स बुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु स युक्तः कृत्स्नकर्मकृत् यस्य सर्वे समारम्भाः कामसङ्कल्पवर्जिताः ज्ञानाग्निदग्धकर्माणं तमाहु पण्डितं बुधाः त्यक्त्वा कर्मफलासङ्गं नित्यतृप्तो निराश्रयः कर्मण्यभिप्रवृत्तोऽपि नैव किञ्चित् करोति सः.
One of the very important verse number 16. We finished last week discussion, no? Ravi?
Yes.
Huh? It's over, no? Okay. Verse number 16. Kim karma, kim akarma. What is action? What is inaction? Even the wise are deluded here, as in understanding what is action, what is inaction. Therefore, I shall teach you action, knowing which you will be liberated from evil. Nobody knows action. Gahana karmano gatihi. It is impenetrable. The nature of action is very deep, is very impenetrable. Even the wise are mohitaha, deluded. Even the wise are deluded, as in knowing the difference between action and inaction. Because first they don't know what is action. First thing you need to understand is, action has got nothing to do with philosophy. Understanding action is a very realistic approach to life, that's all. Philosophy, Vedanta comes much later. Action is only an understanding of a practical approach to live life. For what is the philosophy? The philosophy is transcending action. Philosophy is not better action. Philosophy is not to do better and better action. Philosophy is you move, you transcend action. Now Arjuna is not in a position to understand about this transcending action. So first he needs to understand what is action. What is action? Karma. I will define it. Since he is saying it is very, even the wise is deluded, now we need to understand what is the delusion. Where is the delusion? We are all doing. In fact, better. So where is the confusion about what is action, what is inaction? First, what is action? Karma. Karma comes from the root kr, means to do, to move. Karma comes from the root word kr, to do, to move. So action is that which creates movement. So from this only it is defined. Life equals movement, action is the insignia of life. All this derivation, all these explanations comes from this definition. Kr means to do. And to do has three parts to it. That which drives it, that which involves a process, that which involves a fruit. Then comes the fourth, Ishvara the paladata. இவ்வளோ தெரிஞ்சா you understand action. இவ்வளோ தெரிஞ்சா எதுவுமே செய்ய முடியாது. We'll be so confused. What step we'll be able to take? So what are the four things that you need to know when we say to do? To move means that which drives the motion, the process of movement. Then comes the phala. Then comes the Ishvara, the phala dhata. Even the wise is confused as in relation to all these four. One who does karma is a karta. The one who does karma is the karta. Movement implies prayatna, effort. So first thing about action is action means effort. Because we say karma means, definition itself, to move. Movement involves an effort. Effort automatically brings about a craving for the fruit. When you make an effort, what comes along with it? You can't say make an effort but don't bother about the fruit. That's why karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhuhu ma te sangosta karmanella is very, very, very difficult even to understand it as a concept. Now, we are not discussing about practicing it. We are only trying to decipher and understand it as a concept. Once clarity and understanding comes, you know where you are faltering in practice. Or we are not able to know where we are faltering in practice because we don't get the concepts. We don't get the concept clear. So, first is what? The karta does karma with prayatna for a phala. The karta does karma with prayatna for a phala. அவ்வளவுதான். இதான் ஃபார்முலா. இந்த ஃபார்முலாலேருந்து you have to, from this formula you need to derive by yourself. First thing about the karma is that which drives it. There is that which drives and there is that which is the end. Are you able to follow? There is that which drives the action and there is that which is the phala, the result of action. First thing you need to understand or you need to ask yourself is, are they the same, are they different? Again I repeat, there is that which drives the action for a phala, for the fruit. So what you need to understand, what you need to ask is, because he is saying mohitaha, no, the wise is deluded, no. What all they didn't think that they are deluded, or what all we should think, if we think in all these ways, we will be free from delusion, is what we are attempting. இதெல்லாம் முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறமும் delusion இருக்கும். That is different. You follow? What is it that is driving the action? The desire. Kama, the desire. Now, desire is a very general word. Desire is a very general word which doesn't convey the real meaning, which doesn't convey the real intensity. That is why in Vedanta we don't use the word desire a lot. We use the pair raga and dvesha. Raga and dvesha is the precise way of defining desire. So, what is it that drives the action? Desire. If desire and raga dvesha is one and the same, what is it that drives the action? Raga and dvesha. So now you are clear. What is it that drives the action? Raga and dvesha. But my actions are driven by obligation, sir. I don't have raga dvesha and solliyachina, you have transcended karma yoga. You will not have this delusion. You will not have this delusion. If I say, no, my actions are driven by obligatory actions, you have transcended. You have transcended Karma Yoga. How? When we conclude, you will understand that. Remember this question. So, we are not talking about actions driven by obligations at all. Actions in ordinary man's case, action in a layperson's case is driven by desires. That is why the chronology of actions is vasana, thought, desire, action. It doesn't say vasana or obligations. Correct? No, it should say vasana or obligation. It doesn't say that. It says vasana, thought, desire, action. Abdina, what is the starting point of an action? Raga Dvesha. Raga Dvesha is the starting point of the desire. What is the pala? The result of an action. What is the result of an action? Attainment of raga and dvesha. What is the result of an action? Success. What is that success? Attainment of raga and dvesha. So, actions driven by raga and dvesha is aimed at fulfilling raga and dvesha. So, ஆரம்பத்தில் என்ன இருக்குது? ராக and dvesha. கடைசியில் என்ன இருக்குது? அவ்வளவுதான். Formula இதெல்லாம் you should know it by heart by now. See, if you know all this by heart by now, when you get into it, you will know what you should do, what you should not do. நீங்க புதுசா என்னமோ சொல்லின்னு இருக்கீங்க சார், யூ ஆர் கன்ஃபியூசிங் அஸ். இல்ல நாங்க பாட்டில் ஏதோ ஒரு 4-5 பை ஹார்ட் பண்ணி இந்த 4 வேர்ட்ஸ்லயே we are comfortable moving, thinking that we are understanding something. Suddenly you come on, அதுக்கு இப்போ கம்ப்ளைண்ட் வேற இல்லையா? This is the class where I will be told what I should teach. கியர்லாம் மாத்தி சொல்லாதீங்க, கரெக்டா சொல்லுங்க. சரி, ஓகே, சொல்லிடுறேன். கணேஷ் கியர்லாம் மாத்தல, அப்படியே என்ன ஒரு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கியர்ல இருந்து செகண்ட் கியர் போலான்னு பாக்குறேன், அவ்வளவுதான். டாப் கியர் போனா என்ன ஆகுமோ தெரியல. ஒரு ஒரே கோபமா வருது இப்போ. சரி, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கோர்ஸ் முடிச்சுட்டாரு, செகண்ட் கோர்ஸ் பாதி வேலை இருக்கிறாரு. சரி, எல்லாம் கிளாரிட்டி ஆயிடுத்துன்னு ஒரு சந்தோஷத்துல வெளில போய் அவருக்கு லெக்சர் எல்லாம் கொடுக்க ஆரம்பிச்ச உடனே தான் இப்படி சொன்ன உடனே கோவம் வந்துருச்சு அவருக்கு. வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. கரெக்ட், யூ காட் இட். நோ, so actions are driven by research and development. ராகத்வேஷா இல்ல R&D நான் ரிசர்ச் அண்ட் டெவலப்மெண்ட் நினைச்சேன். இது என்னடா புதுசா இருக்குது, வேதாந்தத்துல இல்லாத ஒண்ணு இருக்குது நினைச்சேன். ராக அண்ட் துவேஷா, இதுல கூட ஒரு தமசா ஃபுல்லா சொன்ன. ராக அண்ட் துவேஷா, என்ன அவ்வளவு பெரிய சென்டென்ஸ், ரெண்டே வார்த்தை, அவ்வளவுதான். ராக அண்ட் துவேஷா. So the starting point is raga dvesha. The sustenance of it is by raga dvesha. The conclusion of it is raga dvesha. Therefore, actions are completely raga dvesha only. First, that has to be very, very clear. Only if these few points are clear, you will know how to proceed. And why we are talking so much about this action? Jnana karma sannyasa yoga. He is trying to give the jnanam behind the karma. Chapter 3 he gave the technique only. Now he is giving the jnanam behind karma. The chapter 3 and 6 very important chapter is this, because he is giving the jnanam behind the karma. So knowing this jnanam behind the karma, you transcend the karma. Illana caught in this? caught in the cycle. All of them. Are you able to follow? Therefore, the starting point of action is what? Raga and Dvesha, which is a sankalpa only. At the beginning, it is only a sankalpa. What is it? I want a phone. I don't want a phone, I am saying. I want a phone is the sankalpa. Sankalpa itself doesn't fructify the object. Sankalpa itself doesn't fructify the object. If sankalpa itself can fructify the object, Aitreya Upanishad says, if sankalpa itself can fructify, there is no problem at all. If sankalpa is only fructifying without any effort, now what is it called? That's called hallucination. Only sankalpa is fructifying. Abdina, what are you doing? You are only imagining, you are only hallucinating. Therefore, at one part it is likes and dislikes, at another part likes and dislikes added with effort for the fulfillment of likes and dislikes only. Are you okay till now? Now you ask yourself, is your actions desire driven actions or fruit driven actions? Ask yourself this question. Is actions driven by desires or actions driven by fruits? Actions are driven by fruit only. Even though we keep saying desired and actions, abdinna kuda, if you have understood the basics, you can quickly replace desire with the fruit. So, actions, are they desired and actions or fruit driven actions? Desired and action is onnelna, it looks justifiable. Enquiry itself doesn't happen. If you say fruit driven actions in something you start thinking. You follow? Therefore, in the analysis of action, first step is to understand it is fruit driven actions. Then comes the advice, drop the fruit. Then comes the innu nama prayatna partukku varala. I'm talking about the fruit part first. Because that is the end. Sadhana, sadhya, sambandha. Analysis ku cause and effect relationship we say no. Sadhana, sadhya. Sadhya means goal. Sadhana means the method. Method is the upaya, the skill, the technique. Sadhya, the goal is fulfillment of raga and dvesha. Therefore, actions in all cases are driven by fulfillment of raga and dvesha only. Appada, first thing in action is, the jnanam in action is complete as in step number 1. Actions in all cases are driven by fulfillment of raga and dvesha only as the goal. You follow? Now comes the jnanam behind action. When it comes to the pala, there is a formula. Formula solra, and then you can explain, and then you expand it. And then we can give stories alone to explain. Are you the doer of the action, or are you the creator of the pala? It is called karma hetu or karma pala hetu. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೂತ್ರ ಅದಲ್ಲ. These are all the formulas. The assumption is we know these basic formulas. Follow. Karma, hetu. Are you the cause for action, or are you the cause for the result of an action? Obvious, sir. As a doer, I am the cause for the action. I am the cause for the fruit of action. Therefore, it is impossible to digest. How can you not be concerned about the fruit? How can you not be affected by the fruit? You will be affected by the fruit. Why? Because you have assumed that you are the karma, pala, hetu, the cause for the result to appear. Jnanam comes in and asks this question. Is it true? Are you the cause for the result? No. அதுதான் ஆல்ரெடி சொல்லியாச்சேப்பா செகண்ட் சாப்டர்ல. கர்மணி ஏவ அதிகார karma only. Your act, your choice, your right is an action only, not on the fruit, pala. சரியாடா? கிளாரிபிகேஷனா? இப்பயே கேட்காதரா? சொல்லு.
Not all actions result to success. Even failures are there.
Correct. புரிஞ்சிடுச்சு.
So then if you don't achieve the success, then you change your actions.
Correct. First point is very correct. Just because you are the doer doesn't mean it will be successful all the time. Correct, da? 40% you understood. Just because you are the doer doesn't mean you can achieve the fruit all the time. What is success? Fulfillment of likes and dislikes. சொல்றதெல்லாம் கேட்டு உட்கார்ந்துருக்கிறியா? நான் கூட உங்க அப்பா மாதிரியும் நினைச்சேன். Very good. See, all these are so mathematical. At a very young age, people can understand all this. We think philosophy means only old cannot only understand. Because it is so mathematical, it is so logical, they can follow. You don't have to have any experience in life to do all this. Just some basic thinking is enough. Correct. Now, are you the author of the action, or are you the author of the result of the action? Abdinna, you need to know what is result. You need to know what is pala, result. What is result? Result means combination of 4 factors. Result means combination of 4 factors in it. That's why it's called as a pala. As a doer, you don't have any choice over this 4. Even though you are the doer, you don't have any choice over this 4. What are the 4? There are only 4. What are the 4? Solupa. You get exactly what you want. Number 1. You get exactly what you want. அப்புறம் probabilities தான். Number 2, you get more than what you want. If you get more than what you want, it is called jackpot. அதான் lottery, luck. You get less than what you want. Number 4, the opposite of what you want. But nevertheless, all these four are possible. In this 4, what is not known is what will come, when will come, how it will come, how long it will stay. Understanding this, the person let go of the fruit. Understanding this, now don't forget the verse. Kavayopyatra mohitaha, he says, even the wise are deluded. What is the delusion? First thing is they don't understand actions means driven by fruits only. And this craving for fruits is so meaningless, is so futile because of what? Fruit has these four. What are the four? You get exactly what you want. You get more than what you want. You get less than what you want. You get the opposite of what you want. But nevertheless, you will get something. You can never say, I will not. Now, panna sir, enakku onnume kedaikala, you can never say that. When you say, enakku onnume kedaikala, I didn't get anything now, what are you saying?
I didn't do it.
What are you saying?
I didn't do it what I want.
You got the opposite of what you want. Understand that? You got the opposite of what you want. That is why karma produces a pala. Karma produces a pala, and what will be the nature of that pala? Any of these four. Example. Standard example vechukano. I have standard examples for my thinking. And since you have no choice but to listen to me, you have to listen to my example only. You go back and give your own examples. Want to cross the road to catch a bus. Ida. You want to cross the road and catch bus. You crossed the road and got the bus. You got exactly what you want. You got exactly what you want. When this happens, you say, life is okay, sir. Vardum bordum correcta irukkudu. Nothing exciting and all is happening, but it is okay. Abdina, what does it mean? You are getting exactly what you want. Second possibility. You cross the road, as you are waiting for the bus, your friend comes and gives you a ride. You got more than what you want. Are you able to follow? Third, you crossed the road, got the bus, crowded bus, your purse got picked. You got the bus, but you got less than what you want. Seriya? Now then opposite. You cross the road and wake up in the hospital bed. You cross the road and you wake up in the hospital bed. You got the opposite of what you want. As a doer, can you ever know what will come? As a doer, can you ever know? It's a probability. That is why in the book Clearer Thinking he says, life equals probabilities. We live life on probabilities, not on certainties. There is only one certainty. What is that certainty? Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. That is the only certainty. But except that certainty, we are focused on the action, believing that it will give a certain pala. So first thing about pala that you need to understand is what? It has these four factors. And all these four factors is not under your control. It means what? As a sincere doer, as a sincere dedicated doer, as a sincere dedicated Shraddha doer, result is Result is
Indeterminable.
Unknown, indeterminable. Now, will you have any motivation to do? Will you have any energy to do? What will happen? You feel like sitting in one corner, not do anything at all. Okay, sir, that is a better choice. No. Other chapter 3 already he has said it. If you don't do, you will become a hypocrite. Because the raga dvesha is, the initial part of raga dvesha is still there. But momentum is there. If you don't do this, what will you do? You will sit and hallucinate about it. You will be hallucinating about the result. You will be hallucinating about the experience. It means that is mityacharasya uchyate. Abdinna ennachu? You have raga dvesha. You have to do effort. And how you put in effort? Not dedicated effort, utterly impossible to understand what is going to be the fruit of it. Are you okay till now? Too much to digest. But again I can't come into this. Today I am going to give the formulas only. Yeah, I am in a mood now. Yeah. Today you will get the formulas only. Then we will sit and reflect. Are you okay till now? Soldat.
But then the fourth thing that you said, the second thing, if somebody picks you up from a bus stand, then your goal will change to get a bike rather than going to a bus.
Correct. New likes and dislikes you develop. Correct. Bus in a point in the that fellow came and took me in the motorcycle, and what I have developed now? To buy a motorcycle. Over likes and dislikes, I got into. Correct. Correct. This is how you develop. Yeah, this is how you develop new likes and dislikes. Already you have some unfulfillment, and now you add up another unfulfillment. அப்புறம் பைக்ல உட்கார்ந்தா KTM பைக் இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும். என்ன பைக்? KTM இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும்ல. ஹார்லி டேவிட்சன் இருந்தா நல்லா இருக்கும். பட் ஹார்லி டேவிட்சன் இருந்தா கூட நாட் அவ்வளோ சேஃபா இல்ல. Then you go into all that you want. What is the starting point and where do you ended up? Where is the moha here? Where is the moha here? From bus to motorcycle to Harley Davidson to car, it makes you deluded to believe that you are growing. What is the delusion here? Where comes the delusion? It makes you to believe that you are growing. Correct? Growing in what?
Delusion.
Growing into greater delusion. That is why karma, action creates more vasanas. The cycle. Correct. அதனாலதான் எப்போதுமே in lifeல we pray for the second possibility to happen. We always pray for the second possibility to happen. Getting more than what I want. Are you okay till now? Very good. Mathematics இது simple mathematics. என்ன கிளாஸ் படிக்கிற? 8th. புரியும். இதெல்லாம் ஈஸியா புரியும். ஆனா என்ன பண்ணும், ஒரு நாளைக்காவது இதெல்லாம் யோசிச்சுனே இருக்கணும் டெய்லி. ஏதோ ஒரு டைம்ல யோசி, doesn't matter. Probability, simple probability. Are you okay till now? If you need to know the result, you need infinite knowledge. Then only you can know what are these for, what will come, when it will come, how it will come, வந்தாலும் எவ்வளவு நாள் நிற்கும், இதெல்லாம் தெரியறதுக்கு you need infinite knowledge. And that infinite knowledge is impossible. Infinite knowledge is impossible. How can you have infinite knowledge? Are you able to follow? Okay, sir, individually infinite knowledge not possible. You know A, I know B, he knows C, he knows D. So all of us put together, can we? Can we know? Brainstorming session la vechi, meeting after meeting vechi, ellam panna? Will we know? Even then, it is not. Even then, it is not possible. How can you say that so strongly, sir? Logic purilanna story. Even Ishvara cannot predict the result of his action. Even Ishvara means Maheshwara, Lord Shiva himself cannot predict the result of his action. As in, he gave a boon to Bhasmasura. The boon he gave to Bhasmasura is what? Bhasmasura asked him. What did he ask? In the story, one man did a tapas and asked for Lord Shiva a boon. What is the boon? Anything that I touch should turn into ashes. Because he has done the tapas effort, he necessarily has to be given the fruit. So Shiva said, Tadastu, granted. Immediately, the Asura wanted to touch Shiva. If he had known that, what he would have done? So, if he had known that, he would not have done that. So, Ishvara himself couldn't. Ishvara himself can't. No. But nevertheless, as the karma pala data, he has to give the fruit. Able to follow? Nevertheless, he has to give the fruit, not knowing what will happen. Even Rama couldn't predict. The father called him and said, tomorrow you will be crowned. He was having the shower, dress ellam pannittu, spray ellam pottukittu, he was ready to get coronated. He got exactly the opposite of what he wants. See, in the story எல்லாம் எதுக்கு இப்படி வச்சிருக்கிறாங்கன்னா, இந்த கான்செப்ட் எல்லாம் to explain these concepts in a story form, and then you can relate it to your own life, and then you understand how satyam this is. Then you get a conviction in the knowledge. சரி, இவங்க என்னமோ சென்சிபிளா தான் என்னமோ சொல்ல வராங்க, கரெக்டா தான் இருக்கும் போல இருக்கு. ஏன்னா அங்க கரெக்டா இருக்குது, இங்க கரெக்டா இருக்குது, நம்ம லைஃப்லயும் கரெக்டா இருக்குது. என்ன ஒரே வெறுப்பு, ஒத்துக்க முடியல, அவ்வளவுதான். நாட் ஏபிள் டு accept it, அவ்வளவுதான். That is our problem. It's not the problem of. Even if you know, you cannot stop it. As you are falling, you know that you are falling at 32 feet per second. You know that. But then that can't prevent the falling either. So either way you have no. Either way it is impossible to stop the tala, but you never know what the tala is. What and when and how, we don't know. Abdina, what does it mean? You are getting into action not knowing what you are going to get. That's why Swamiji keeps on saying, you don't know what you are doing. And we go back thinking, நமக்கு சரி ஏதோ சொல்றாரு தெரிய இவர் சொல்லின்னு இருக்கட்டும். But we know exactly what we are doing. ஏதோ சொல்றாருப்பா, ஏதோ அப்ப எப்ப 4 விஷயத்துல ஏதோ ஒரு நல்லதும் சொல்லிடுறாரு, அதை மட்டும் கேட்டுக்கலாம். மிச்சதெல்லாம் I tell you, this analysis about action itself is the preparation for jnanam. இன்னும் பிரம்மன் பத்தி வரவே இல்லை. Nothing about Brahman has come, nothing about the unreality of the world has come. இதெல்லாம் வரவே இல்லை. ஞானம் is still far away. What is primarily important is understanding action. Are you okay till now? So this is as far as the fruit is concerned. You can never. So as the doer, are you a karma hetu or karma pala hetu? Cause for action or the cause for the result of action? What are you? The cause for action only. Though the pala will come, you have no choice. அப்படின்னா இந்த ஃப்ரூட் எல்லாம் அவாய்ட் பண்ணணும்னா என்ன சார் பண்ணணும்? இந்த அன்சர்டனிட்டில அவாய்ட் பண்ணணும்னா என்ன பண்ணும்? என்ன பண்ணும்? என்ன பண்ணும்? ராகத்வேஷாவை ரிமூவ் பண்ணும். ஸ்டார்டிங் பாயிண்ட் அதானே? What is the starting? What is the root of all this? Ragadvesha, no. So as long as you don't remove Ragadvesha, you are asking for uncertainty, and uncertainty keeps you in worry, in anxiety, in depression. Therefore, action, howsoever skillful you are, howsoever knowledgeable you are in doing that action, it will end up in shoka only, as in the case of Arjuna. Where do you get a skillful person better than Arjuna? Even already solid. I am not going into that explanation again. We have already seen how Arjuna is extremely skillful, and that skillful person can end up like this. What is the point? Life has no action, ragadvesha, fulfillment, plan, growth. All this has no certainty. Are you okay till now? But then we don't have zero knowledge. We have some knowledge. We don't have zero knowledge, but we have some knowledge. With the limited knowledge and the limited power, what can you do? Do whatever you have picked up from the past to the best of your ability. With the limited knowledge, what can you do? Do whatever you have picked up from the past. You have already created it. Ragadvesha, you have already created it. Now you can't do anything about it. Now you can't sit and cry. Why I created it? அப்பவே கிரியேட் பண்ணாம இருந்திருந்தாலே ப்ராப்ளம்லாம் சால்வ் ஆயிருக்குமே. No, this crying is meaningless, because the way that you are acting, you are refueling it. If you are that keen, stop refueling it first. Tankla fuel fill பண்ணியாச்சு. Don't go on refueling it. Existing fuel has to be discarded, has to be exhausted through action only. That is why you do action. This is Karma Yoga. The existing fuel has to get exhausted through action only. அப்படியே டேங்கை திறந்து விட்டு அப்படியே லீக் பண்ண விட்டுட்டா it will be easy. No, and the possibility doesn't exist. You have to necessarily exhaust it through action only. So what do? You act with the idea of not to refuel it further. Refueling it further is what? Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Punarapi, again and again, what do? Busla erlan bona motorcycle erlan bona car la erlan bona something else. Whole lifetime goes in this. And then Brihadaranyaka says, what happens to you at the anta end? Only Upanishad that talks about that end portion. No other Upanishads talks about that. Brihadaranyaka talks about that. At the end, what happens? At the end, what happens? first thing, the speech goes out. The time of death, talking, the speech goes out, but that fellow will be making some noise. Some noise he will be making, but speech goes out. After a while, speech also goes out, but eyes are all still functioning. After a while, that also stops, but mind is still functioning. After a while, mind knows that it has to leave. The story, literally the episode proof என்னன்னா எனக்கு தெரியாது, because I didn't experience it. If I have experienced it, நான் இங்க உட்கார்ந்திருக்க முடியாது. உபனிஷத்துல சொல்றான்றதுனால we take it as a பிரமாணம். And then what happens? In a flash, when the mind is going to switch off, in a flash that life comes in that person's. அப்போதான், oh my God, how I have wasted everything. How I have wasted everything. What all opportunity I got to do what I should have done, I didn't do that. And unnecessarily I wasted it in everything else. ஒரு வைராக்கியம் வருமா? And then with that vairagya it leaves this body and it enters into another body. But then the prayatna, the effort that it makes to come out of the effort the jiva makes to come out of the womb, it's not easy, no. It is the effort of the mother and it is the effort of the child too. It's all the prayatna in life is nothing compared to that prayatna. Idu Upanishad. In that effort, it gets so topsy-turvy, all the vairagya is forgotten and starts all over again. Idu thiripi, it keeps happening. Idu Brihadaranyaka. They are describing it figuratively. And who is free from this? Tattvadarshi is free from this, he says. The one who has understood the truth is free from this tapa. He is free from this. What is freedom? Freedom from not fueling it further, and the only way to exhaust the created fuel is by action. Therefore, every action is seen as an opportunity to every action is seen as an opportunity to exhaust the existing desire. Appa it becomes an yajna. Appa it turns into a yajna. But then that is not how an ignorant person acts. How he acts? Refueling it again and again and again. Refueling it again and again and again, going through the cycle of papa and punya, experiencing the respective benefits of the papa and punya, going back to square one and start all over again. Idella, till now I have spoken only about the pala part. The prayatna varla. Now I will come to the effort part. If result itself is futile, pala is so the prayatna, the effort is more futile. That is where depression is maximum. எவ்வளோ பண்ணாலும் ஒண்ணுமே கிடைக்க மாட்டேன்றதே சார். ஒண்ணுமே கிடைக்கலப்பா. யூ காட் த ஆப்போசிட்டா வந்துருக்கு. But I didn't ask for it, no sir. When you developed the raga and dvesha itself, you didn't know what you have asked for. The very development of raga dvesha itself is a sure recipe asking for Inviting? Inviting what? Sukama. Raga and Dvesha, when you create, that very creation of Raga Dvesha is an invitation for what? More Raga Dvesha. More Raga Dvesha na nadupurena. Raga Dvesha, Raga Dvesha, Raga Dvesha, Raga Dvesha nirka. Nadupura nirke. Which is very, which is what we don't want to experience at all in life. What is that? Shoka, sadness, depression, melancholy. Idella vandame. But what is happening? Anxiety is coming. Worry is coming. Pressure is coming. Okay, pala fulfill ana kuda konja nerathila maranjidradhu good disappear aadradhu illaya. Okay sir, triptoham nu solla mudiyilla. Karta can never say aham triptah. He can never say I am contented. Even if there is a contentment, fifth of the discontentment comes back as in hunger, he says. As in hunger. Allah triptiya saaptata abbada inime pasiye edukada. No. Fulla edukum. Abdina, and the knowledge of pariya tripti vechina, what can you do? Will the experience, knowledge of the previous experience of tripti, will it help now? No. It means you have to start all over again. Thiripi katti edukano, vegetable cut panno, cook panno, saapanno, only to understand that. Konja neram kalichi thiripi idu pannano. How long will you keep doing this? One man wakes up and asks, how long will I keep doing this? Life like the utta, nothing seems to be meaningful in life except this repeated doing with the same result of unfulfillment. Abdina, what will you do? Class out to vella pombode you will become jnani. That's what he says. Jnanam is an instant purifier. You understand this, you walk out purified. Kim karma, kim akarma, kavayaha api, mohitaha. Even the wise is deluded. Solda.
But then you can't stop and any goal because indirectly you're going to anyway do anything. Because if a person is walking, you have two benefits. One, to go to a place, another is to burn calories. So,
what is the second benefit?
To burn calories.
Oh, to burn calories. Okay. Correct.
Or if you are, for example, if you are eating, why do you do it? Indirectly, you are eating for your health and for your hunger.
Yes.
So always there is a goal, so you can't stop it. It will indirectly come in.
It will keep coming. How much ever you try to stop, it will keep, indirectly it will keep coming. This is the vicious cycle of life. It will keep coming. And as long as it keeps coming, you will be in, as long as it keeps coming, you will be in pain only. What is the pain? You eat a chocolate, very tasty. You eat one more chocolate, only to find out that next day you have to run extra 2 kilometers. That extra 2 kilometers will make you so hungry that you will end up having 4 chocolates. So a time will come where you are exercising and calories are increasing. Angala effort goes waste. At the varam, write everything that I told and show it to me. Na points mari eldi vechikren, na flow la pesna irukren, na marandadren. Next week if I go back what I said, I keep forgetting. Help me. All that I said today, what you do? Right. Point at the full lecture la vana. Your father will say recording irukku, listen to the recording la vana. Just to put it as points and inga kondu inga vechiru. Seriya? the phala. This is as far as the phala is concerned. As a doer, you have no control over what you are going to get. Na? How absurd it is. Something is wrong fundamentally, no? See, otherwise, you have done the effort, you have planned, it is your planning, it is your thing, everything is yours. But then, எல்லாம் கரெக்டா பண்ணிட்டு போனேன் சார். ஆனா மேக்ஸ் எக்ஸாம்னு நச்சுன்னு போன இடத்துல சோசியல் சயின்ஸ் எக்ஸாம் எல்லாம் படிச்சுன்னு போனேன் கரெக்டா. ஐ வாஸ் வெல் ப்ரிப்பேர்ட், எவ்ரி திங் இஸ் டன் வெல். கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் வாங்கி பார்த்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் ஐ அண்டர்ஸ்டுட் தட். ஐ டெல் த டீச்சர், கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர் மாத்தி கொடுத்துட்டீங்க. She says, what will she say? Idiotic fellow, நீ மாத்தி you came back ultra. You follow? This is as far as the result is concerned. If you understand it like this, will you ever be bothered about the result? Will you be ever worried about the result? %40 of karma yoga you start following straight away, because you become unconcerned about the result. When you are unconcerned about the result, 40% of karma yoga you have started to follow. Now comes the challenging part, the effort. Now comes the effort. Yatna, effort. Prayatna, a special kind of effort, not ordinary effort. What does the prayatna means? Prayatna is the child coming out of the womb. Prayatna is the child coming out of the womb. You make an effort to get out, somebody pushes you from inside. Somebody is pushing you from inside, you can't sit quiet. You also have to cooperate. Somebody is pushing you, you also cooperate. Pushing you out of your tamas. Pushing you out of what? Inaction. Pushing you out of your tamas, and you yourself have to make an effort to come out of the tamas. Law of inertia. How difficult it is. The law of inertia. Objects continue to be in a state of rest or of uniform motion unless acted upon. So some force will come and act, and you also have to cooperate. How painful it is when somebody comes and when an external force drives you to action, you are frustrated about it, and you yourself have to do it. Now it is more frustration. So effort, prayatna, will produce ayasam. Effort will cause fatigue. That is why action causes stress. Everybody is experiencing stress. For action will produce prayatna equals fatigue. I am just saying the Sanskrit word as in the formula, and then using the English word so that you can understand. Effort equals fatigue. It is not the effort that causes the fatigue. The effort that involves stress causes prayatna equals ayasa. That is why when we talk about the best kind of action, we say Anayasam karma. Effortless action. When somebody is doing something so effortlessly, you say, எப்படி பண்றார் பாவர். அநாயசம் கர்ம. டெத்துக்கே there is அநாயசம் மரண, அநாயசம் மிருத்யு, they say. Effortless way of dying. Even before you know what happens, you are gone. Appa, what the opposite of that is inga tube, inga tube, inga tube, inga tube. You wanting to die, others around you also wanting to die, but death is not happening. Yeah, adulu kuda oru birth la ayasam na. Have you ever observed in life? Birth is fatigue, death is also fatigue. Na right through that fellow has done something. Something fundamentally wrong. That's why this effort comes. The opposite of that is, as Englishman says, Ram Tirtha quotes, die with your boots on. Die with your boots on becomes the motive. Na? What happens? More ayasam andruma, sir. Tragedy is ayasam goes out. That's the beauty of more the effort, more effortless it becomes. Angiyum delusion da. Because if effort is effortless in the beginning, there is no problem. Effort is so tiring in the beginning. Anga again moha comes. So what does it mean? Effort which involves prayatna is painful in the beginning, turns out to be nectarine only at the end. So even from that angle, what do? As soon as the sun rises, you are up into action. So, unconcerned about the fruit, you are up into action. Now we have come to the starting point of the action. Effort விட்டோம், பலத்தை விட்டுட்டோம் என்ன அர்த்தம்? We have rightly understood. So karma yoga, for 70% of karma yoga we are following. Why? Because we have understood the futility of the effort and we have lost it. And we have understood action means effort only, and effort will cause fatigue, and the only way to overcome the fatigue is not resting, more effort. That is how the formula is. Effortlessness comes out of much effort. Effortlessness comes out of much effort. Therefore, a karma yogi has cut the pala first. Why we talk about the pala first is because அது இன்னும் வரல, அதனால அதை பத்தி கொஞ்சம் பேசலாம். Something you can do about it, because it has not yet come. You can do something about it. That is why we start with the discussion of the pala and come to the starting point at the end. It is already created. Nothing much can be done about it now. And we don't talk about the starting point of the action first. We talk about the end portion of the action first. See, logically speaking, where we should have started? ஆரம்பத்திலே செட்டரேட் பண்ணிருக்கலாமே. இல்லப்பா, அந்த ஸ்டேஜ் தாண்டியாச்சு. இப்போ அப்பே வந்திருக்கலாமே சார். அப்பே வந்திருந்தா இது ஆயிருக்காது. உடுப்பாதான் வரலையே. What can be? The doctor says no, you should have come 1 hour before. Okay, the knowledge that I should have come 1 hour before is more frustrating now. Yeah, so might as well not talk about it. Correct. And we don't talk about the pala first. We talk about the pala first is because something can be done about that. Therefore what? First discussion is always about the pala. Karmanyevadikaraste ma paleshu kadachana ma karma pala hetur bhuhu ma te sangostva karmani. Pala is left. He is happy into the effort also now. Karthala endrichonne Monday mornings or Friday evenings are Monday mornings. So Monday mornings திருப்பி ஓடுறதுக்கு எதுக்குடா திருப்பி கேலரிஸ் எல்லாம் பர்ன் பண்ணணும்னா ஏன் கேலரி வந்துச்சு முதல்ல? கரெக்ட் தானே? ஏன் கேலரி வந்துச்சு ஃபர்ஸ்ட்? ஓவரா ப்ரீவியஸ் நைட் சாப்பிட்டதுனால. அது ஏன் ஓவரா ப்ரீவியஸ் நைட் சாப்பிட்டேன்? சென்சஸ் நல்லா இருந்துச்சு சார், இதுல என்ன மிஸ்டேக்? Bhima asks, see, Bhima was taken to Naraka and he was shown his Naraka. இதுதான் உன்னுடைய நரக்கான்னு they said. It's called Swarga Arohana. Swarga Arohana போறதுக்கு முன்னாடி they all went to Naraka. மகாபாரதத்தோட கிளைமேக்ஸ் இது. So Bhima was in Naraka. Bhima said, what did I do? What mistake I did to come to this Naraka? Yama asked him, you are known as Bhima, aka அப்படின்னா also known as. உனக்கு ஒரு அலியாஸ் கொடுத்திருக்கிறோம்ல. What is your also known as? விருகோதரா. அது இன்னும் விருகோதரனா பெரிய நோபல் பிரைஸ் டைட்டில் நினைச்சல நீ. விருகோதரான்ற டைட்டில் வாஸ் given to you to make you aware. நீ புரிஞ்சுக்கல, அதனால நரகா ஃபார் யூ. விருகோதரன்னா என்ன அர்த்தம்? ஓவர் ஈட்டிங். அதுக்கெல்லாமா நல்லா இருக்குதுன்னு ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா லட்டு சாப்பிட்டா அதுக்கெல்லாமா நடக்கா? எஸ், நடக்கா ஃபார் தட் ஆல்சோ. லைஃப் ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருக்குது சார். கரெக்ட், ரொம்ப ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா இருக்குது சார் லைஃப். நாலேஜ் லிபரேட்ஸ் யூ. Strictness is the bondage. See, this is how the man, more and more you think, you understand how you are chained from all directions and how difficult it is to remove the chain. But chained in ஒரு ஆள் தெரியலன்னு என்ன பண்றது? We are at that level now. Where we are trying to understand how we are chained. So first we talk about the pala and then we talk about the effort. Now we talk about the starting point. What is the starting point? Prayatnam, effort alla idukku sir. What is the starting point? Raga dvesha. Ingendu vandadhu? இங்கேருந்து வந்தது வாசனஸ். அது வாசனஸ் எங்கேருந்து வந்தது? பாஸ்ட் ஆக்ஷன்ஸ். ஸோ யுவர் கரண்ட் லைக்ஸ் அண்ட் டிஸ்லைக்ஸ் இஸ் யுவர் கிரியேஷன். கரெக்ட். யார் சொன்னாங்க? கணேஷா? கரெக்ட். கோமா இல்லை போல இருக்கு. இப்போ சந்தோஷமா கேட்கிறாரு, அதான் ஆன்சர்லாம் சொல்றாரு. Your likes and dislikes is your creation. The moment you understand it as your creation, instantly you become free. Because you know you can do something to get out of it. Uddared atmanatmanam. You know that only you can lift yourself by yourself, because the likes and dislikes is your own creation. But when I created it, I didn't know, sir. Ignorance of the law is not an excuse. எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு ஆன்சர் வச்சுக்கிட்டு you are an answer for everything and you are frustrating us. This is why knowledge in the initial stages is very frustrating, because it chokes you from all corners. Ramatirtha says, at bayonet's point, Vedanta makes you to grow. What is that bayonet's point? It's the bayonet's point. You can't escape from any angle. So you have to finally agree to what? என்ன விட்டுருங்க, whatever you ask me to do, I will do. I just want to get out of this bondage. அங்க you have turned into a சிஷ்யா. கர்மா எல்லாம் பண்ணி மெச்சூர் ஆனாதான் you can turn into a சிஷ்யா, because he is so suffocated in all directions. ஸ்டார்டிங் ஒன்னும் புரியல, மிடில் ஒன்னும் புரியல, எண்ட் ஒன்னும் புரியல. So what will you do? You will be so suffocated. And what is the suffocation? You will come and say, tell me what I should do. That is Arjuna. Tell me in one word what I should do. Tell me in one word what I should do. And that one word, Krishna didn't say. What a cruel master, no? What a tough. கொஞ்சம் கூட சிம்பத்தியே, கொஞ்சம் கூட இமோஷனே இல்ல, கொஞ்சம் கூட சிம்பத்தியே இல்லாம அகெயின் அண்ட் அகெயின் கன்ஃபியூசிங் him only. வியாமிஸ்ரேனேவ வாக்கியேன புத்திம் மோகயசீவமே. He is attacking Krishna. Who? Arjuna. வியாமிஸ்ரேனேவன மாத்தி மாத்தி பேசுறதுன்னு அர்த்தம். வியாமிஸ்ரேனா மாத்தி மாத்தி, கரெக்டா ஒண்ணு பேசினே வாங்க, மாத்தி மாத்தி. பிளாக்னா ஒயிட்ன்றது, ஒயிட்னா பிளாக்ன்றது. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் யூ மேக் அப் யுவர் மைண்ட், பிளாக் ஆர் ஒயிட். Vyamisreneva vakyena buddhim mohayasivame. The moment you understand all this knowledge in the way that it is explained, what happens to you? You will not gain moksha. You will not gain moksha. You will start experiencing the suffocation which is the prerequisite for moksha. That is how karma yoga is a preparation for moksha. Karma yoga is not the direct aid for liberation, it's a preparatory step for liberation. Therefore, in one word, he goes on saying, do karma, do karma, do karma. And this advice, do karma, is more frustrating than in any other advice. Because nana pannine irukkrene. No, you didn't do. How can you say you didn't do? Because you have not yet known. Kim karma, you don't know. Kim akarma, you don't know. Even the wise are deluded. Even the wise are deluded na, இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சேர்ல உட்கார்ந்து பேசுற ஆளுக்கே கூட புரியாம இருக்கலாம். As I am talking, I may not even know or understand any of this. அதுதான் delusion. As he is thinking, he is practicing karma yoga, he may not even. ஓகே சார், எங்களுக்கு தான் புரியல, இவ்வளவு தெளிவா அனலைஸ்லாம் பண்ணி பேசுற உங்களுக்கு கூட புரியல. எஸ் அப்படின்னா what do you do? Don't worry, I shall teach you action. Look at the assurance. Arjuna, kim karma, kim akarma, wise people க்குலாம் தான் தெரியாது. Even the so called wise people also don't know. But எனக்கு தெரியும். Why? Because I am doing that which I ought to do. Janaka did that which he ought to do. Therefore only we know. All those who escaped and ran away from action, they don't know. Or anybody who comes and tells you, you don't worry, prayatnalla you don't do. With my power I will give my power to you. Abdiye you will float now. Who goes for all that? Who will fall for all that? Horoscope man get away, who will sit? Who will do all that, Arjuna? All the wise fellow will do. But they don't know about action. I shall teach you action. Abdina, he is going to teach. Yajna karma, I shall teach you action to 24 he is going to start. Preparation for jnanam. Avlo preparation venum. Skill எல்லாம் already சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டாரு. Whatever you needed for the satisfactory level, he has already said in the 3rd chapter. Karma yogathula some skill he has said, some technique he has said. Clip the past, clip the future, plunge into the present, plug the hole here. All the technique is already given. இதனாலெல்லாம் என்ன ஆகும்? ஒன்னும் ஆகாது. If you don't have the right knowledge. Therefore, I shall teach you action. அப்படின்னா இவ்வளவு நேரம் சொல்லி கொடுத்ததெல்லாம் என்ன? ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் தான் சார். ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் என்னைக்குதான் முடிப்பீங்க? That we never know. Are you able to follow? Kim karma, kim karma. Therefore, I shall teach you action. And now he brings in very subtly, knowing which you will be liberated from Ashubha. You should have said, knowing which you will be liberated from action. Look at that verse. Each and that. That's why the chapter 4, few verses are extraordinary verses. One of the important chapters. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavayo pyatra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñatva mokshase karmatnu sollirukano. It is, but he didn't say karmat. He is saying ashubhat. Abdinna, what you have to infer? Abdinali, what you have to infer? What do you have to infer? Karma nale ashubham da. Karma nale ashubham da. Arjuna இன்னும் கோபம் வருது. அதுதான் நான் வேணான்னு சொல்றேன். வேணான்னு சொன்னது அசுபம்னு சொல்லிட்டு why are you making me do it? ஏன்னா உன் டேங்க் ஃபுல்லா இருக்குது ஆல்ரெடி. It is there already. Now you have filled it already. What can be done? I am telling you a technique by which you can exhaust it faster. Na? You are not listening. Brake adigama 300 kilometer non-stop drive. It will get exhausted. After that, liberation done. Every 20 kilometer go tea break. Every 100 kilometer ஒரு பிரேக்ஃபாஸ்ட் பிரேக். அதெல்லாம் என்னத்துக்கு? இதெல்லாம் தான் புனः ஹாப்பி. ஏன்னா ஒரு இடத்துல நிற்கும் போது டீ கடை அட்ராக்டிவா இருக்குது இல்லையா? அங்க போனா 10 பொம்மை வைக்கிறான், பார்க்கலாம். அப்புறம் பிஸ்கட் வைக்கிறான். சரி, அதை கொஞ்சம் வாங்கி வச்சுக்கலாம். இன் பிட்வீனுக்கு என்னத்துக்கு அது? This is how you pick up Ashubham. Even the wise are deluded here as to what is action and what is inaction. Therefore, I shall teach you action, knowing which you will be liberated from action. He didn't say that. Knowing which you will be liberated from evil. Abdinale, all actions, the end result is evil. Evil means destruction. Puriliye sir. Second law of thermodynamics. Second law of thermodynamics. Has anybody studied science here? Second law of thermodynamics. எப்பயோ படிச்ச சார், அதெல்லாம் மறந்து போச்சு. இதுவே கிம் கர்மா கிம் அகர்மாவே ஞாபகம் இல்லை. நீங்க தெர்மோடைனமிக்ஸ் கேட்டாலும் how we will remember. Second law of thermodynamics states efficient system will fail. First law states 100% efficiency cannot be attained. Second law says, okay, ஏதோ ட்ரைலாம் பண்ணி எல்லாத்தையும் சேர்த்து போட்டா கூட what will happen? It will, efficient system will fail. That's second law. You put all the best tire, the best engine, the best glass, the best brakes, everything the best. அப்படியே பெஸ்டாவே இருக்குமா? Very soon it will best TMT ராட்லாம் போட்டு you put up a building, அப்படியே பெர்மனண்டா இருக்குமா? அவ்வளவுதான். அதான் செகண்ட் லா ஆஃப். அப்படின்னா வாட் டஸ் இட் மீன்? மீட்டிங்லாம் போட்டு பிளான்லாம் போட்டு எஃபிஷியன்ட் சிஸ்டம்லாம் கொண்டு வந்து அதுக்கு சூப்பர்வைசர் எல்லாம் போட்டு சிஸ்டம் அப்படியே மெயின்டைன் பண்ணலாம்னு பண்ணா what will be the result? It will fail. Na, what are you doing? That which is that which is going to collapse by nature is what you are building. Are you able to follow? You are building that which is going to collapse. You are building yourself thinking that you know what you are doing, I know what I am doing, அதுக்கு perfect planலாம் வச்சிருக்கிறேன், அந்த planல 40% I have completed also sir, வந்துருச்சு வேதாந்தெல்லாம் ஃபெயிலியர்னு நான் 2 வருஷத்துல ப்ரூவ் பண்ணி காமிச்சிடுறேன், ஜஸ்ட் வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க, 6 மாசம் கழிச்சு that fellow will come and say why it happened to me. Karma yogi says this despondency will never come to a karma yogi. Why? Because in the beginning itself he has understood what?
One of the four will not.
He is creating that which will fail. An efficient system fails. Third law, adan எல்லாத்துக்குமே 3 law தான், complete laws. Third law we know very well. Third law, the law of conservation of energy. It disappears here to reappear elsewhere. அவ்வளவுதான். சார் நீங்க இப்ப பிசிக்ஸ் கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்களா, பிலாசபி கிளாஸ் எடுக்கிறீங்களா, what to do? The law remains the same. Are you able to follow? The law remains the same. But then what do? You try to get as close as possible to 100% efficiency with the full understanding that how much ever efficiency you achieve, it will collapse. Another skill has this problem. You gather a skill, you acquire a skill, if you don't keep up to it, you will lose it very soon. Correct? You learn a language, if you don't keep up to the language, you will forget. Very soon it goes. But 40 varshama I have done it, 2 varshadile you will forget. 4 years na? Therefore, action is evil because action by nature is that which diminishes. இதுக்குதான் the definition of phala itself means diminishing. I have already explained it. Phala equals diminishing. Phala is not growing. Phala doesn't mean growing. The Sanskrit word phala means the fruit, the result, the effect. The English word result doesn't give you the meaning of diminishing. That is why we always use a Sanskrit word phala, because the Sanskrit word phala means that which diminishes to the karta and to the phala. Okay sir, phala pona parala, karta kulliyada and the technique அப்படியே இருக்குமா? No. அதனாலதான் before you forget, you have to pass it on to another. Before that fellow forgets, he has to pass it on to another. Fortuna? Gone for? Ever. Wise one, he assumes to be wise, but they are also deluded about what? Kim karma and kim akarma. I shall teach you action. And next verse he is going to talk. About what to be done, what's not to be done, that nitya, that naimittika, that nishiddha, ella next verse. Extraordinary verse. This verse is beautiful, na? Next verse is extraordinary. Yeah, extraordinary na ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோங்க. நேஹா விக்ரமணாசோஸ்தி பிரத்யவாயோ ந வித்யதே ஸ்வல்பமப்யஸ்ய தர்மஸ்ய த்ராயதே மகதோ பயாத். In the way that I am going to teach verse number 17, Arjuna, if you practice, இதுக்கு நாசமே கிடையாது. ந ஹிஹ நாசஹ நேஹா விக்ரமணாசோஸ்தி பிரத்யவாயோ ந வித்யதே. verse number 41, chapter 2. Karma Yoga start பண்ணும்போதே he says, in this there is no loss. But in the way that you do worldly actions, it is only nashta, evil only. அப்படின்னா இதுவும் நஷ்டமாயிடுமா? இதுக்கு ஒரு ஸ்பெஷல் குவாலிட்டி இருக்கு. வாட் இஸ் த குவாலிட்டி? நேஹா விக்ரமணாசோஸ்தி பிரத்யவாயோ ந vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya. Even if you practice little bit of this, Arjuna, to that extent you will be saved. Abdina, what do? Start doing. Don't worry about ennavum. Sir, edu pannalum olunga pannilla sir. Adu apprama. First you have to start doing first. And when you start doing, olunga irukadu, which is okay. But the very fact that you have started doing it itself, little bit of, there is no nashta to that. So, while all other actions are sin driven by raga, dvesha, the end result is evil, ashubhamna. In the way that I am going to teach action, Arjuna, anga mattum nashtame kadayadu. How wise I am. So what I teach is, look at the stance he takes. Wonderful is that. That's why he is Jagat Guru. Look at the stance he takes. All this ends up in Nasha, Arjuna, but that which I teach is not going to end up in Nasham. How? That's already soltene. This is cheating, sir. Neha vikramanashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpamapyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bayat. From the great fear you will be protected, Arjuna. What is the fear of action? Action always has the fear, anxiety. Anxiety na fear. You don't say fear and anxiety. Anxiety purilandradnalda you have to say fear. Fear nale anxiety dana. What is the fear?
All effort will go waste.
Kadakuma. First thing, are you sure will I get it, sir? First thing. Rendavathu. What I want kadakuma? Opposite ஆ கிடைச்சிட கூடாது இல்லையா? அப்பீல் லெட்டர் கொண்டு போய் கொடுத்தா கொடுப்பாங்கல்ல ஷுவரா? இல்ல திட்டி அனுப்புவாங்க. Opposite of what you get. Still that is also possible. But I am going for a higher, that way ஈஸ்வரனுக்கே தெரியல what will happen, how can you and me know? So simply go. இந்த மாதிரி பண்ண, in the way that I teach action, Arjuna, you will not lose anything. Neha vikramanashosti. Neha na iha. Avikramana nasha. Nasham na destruction. What is the destruction? And the second law of thermodynamics, which seems to be the absolute law, I teach you how to break that law. அது அவங்களுக்கே தெரியாது. They think they are wise. But the way that I am going to teach you, Arjuna, you can break that also. Abdinna, how wise he is. What we should do? Yeah, summa prostrate. First thing, prostrate and get up and simply do. What to do? Our next verse. I shall teach action solittu. His next verse he says, what is it? In this verse, that's why I didn't go into what to do ndradilla. He's going to say next verse. This verse is about what that even the wise one didn't understand, that they are also deluded. They didn't understand the nature of the beginning point of action. They didn't understand the process involved, nor they understood the result. You need to understand all the three. So work backwards. We worked backwards. First we spoke about the phala, and then we spoke about the effort, the process. Then we spoke about how futile is the starting point itself. The raga dvesha itself. Arambhame futile na. If the starting point is futile na, down the line everything is fine. இல்லையா? ஃபர்ஸ்டே கோணல்னா அதுதான் ஆரம்பத்திலே கோணல், எண்டு மட்டும் எப்படி பர்ஃபெக்ட் ஸ்ட்ரைட் லைன் வரும்? ஆரம்பத்தில் இப்படி 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 போட்டு ஃபைனல் மட்டும் வராது. ஃபார் த ஸ்டார்டிங் பாயிண்ட் இட் செல்ஃப் இஸ் அப்படின்னா ஆல் ஆக்ஷன்ஸ் ஆர் ஈவில். தட் இஸ் வை ஐ வாண்ட் டு கெட் அவே ஃப்ரம் ஆக்ஷன். கிருஷ்ணா, நான் சொன்னதே திருப்பி யூ ஆர் telling me, ஒன்னு விட்டுட்ட நீ, I have another technique. அது உனக்கு தெரியாது. Look at that knowledge. That technique you don't know. What is that? By which you will not only you will not, there is no nacha to it, little bit of this you practice. Trayate mahato bayat. Second verse he sets the pattern for. That is why when we did second chapter I said right through the chapters we will be referring to 18th chapter we will be referring to chapter 2. ஏன்னா அதுதான் ஃபவுண்டேஷன். ப்ராப்ளம்லாம் சால்வ் பண்ண முடியலன்னா where do you go? To the formula, no? Where are the formulas? Chapter 2. The yoga of knowledge. அதுதான் நான் verse number 40 சொல்லிட்டேனே. நேஹாபிக்ரமநாசோஸ்தி பிரத்யவாயோ ந வித்யதே ஸ்வல்பமப்யஸ்ய தர்மஸ்ய திராயதே மகதோ பயாத்னு சொல்லியாச்சு. அப்புறம் 47ல கர்மண்யேவாதிகாரஸ்தே மாபலேஷு கதாச்சன மா கர்மபல ஹேதுர்பூஹு மாதே சங்கோஸ்வ கர்மணி சொல்லியாச்சு. அப்படின்னா தென் வாட் இஸ் கர்மயோகி? சமத்வம் யோக உச்சியதே யோக கர்மசு கௌசலம் எல்லாம் சொல்லியாச்சு ஆல்ரெடி. சொன்னதே திருப்பி இழுத்து சொல்றோம், அவ்வளவுதான். அதனாலதான் சாப்டர் போக போக இழுவையும் அதிகமாகும். என்ன புரியலையாங்க, அதுதான். able to follow? So don't blame me. That is the technique that he is following. He has already said it. Neha vikramanaashosti pratyavayana vidyate. He has already explained. Karmanyevadhikaraste mapaleshu kadachana ma karma palaheturbhuhu mate sangosto karmani. He has already established. Abdina sumarpana. No. Samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga karmasu கௌசலம். இப்படிலாம் பண்ணா என்ன ஆகும்? ஸ்தித பிரஜ்ஞா யூ பிகம். அதான் சொல்லியாச்சு எல்லாம். ஆனா ஒண்ணு வியாமிஸ்ரேனேவ வாக்கியேன he saying, after listening to all this he saying, மாத்தி பேசுற, tell me clearly. He started. So அப்படின்னா உனக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்கில் சொல்லி கொடுக்கணும். So chapter 3 karma yoga skill he taught. After teaching the skill அப்படியே விட்டுறக்கூடாது. ஏன்னா he will become a machine. Skill மட்டும் சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டு விட்டா you will become a machine. That is why in the world you want only machine. They only teach the skill, they will not teach the philosophy, because you only want machines. But Krishna is not employed, for him to keep you as a machine. He gives you the jnanam. What is the jnanam? All that you know will go into evil, nashta. That which I am going to teach you, I shall teach you action by which you attain moksha. Moksha na qualified for moksha and then moksha. Are you able to follow? Kim karma Kim akarma, you need to understand this. Jnanam lada, I didn't touch it at all, but akarma you need to understand. Jnanam lada, that enlivening principle comes. இவ்வளோலாம் பேசணுமே, முக்கியமானது பேசவே இல்லை. How silly it is. What is that? The enlivening principle. இல்லையா? இதே ஒரு என்லைட்டன் மாஸ்டர் இங்க உட்கார்ந்திருந்தா என்லிவனிங் பிரின்சிபல் பத்தி தான் பேசுவார். இதெல்லாம் வேஸ்ட் ஆஃப் டைம். இதெல்லாம் பேசி go to the enlivening factor. நம்மளே ட்ரபிள் பண்ணின்னு இருக்கும்போது what do? We talk about all this. So he talks about the obligation and he is also talking about the enlivening factor. அப்பதான் it is complete. That's why ஞானம் is complete. Enlivening factor என்ன? பிரம்மார்ப்பணம் பிரம்மஹவிஹி பிரம்மாக்னோ பிரம்மணாகுதம் பிரம்மைவதேன கந்தவ்யம் பிரம்ம கர்ம சமாதினா. Eater is Brahman, doer is Brahman, experiencer is Brahman, that which is experiencing is Brahman, that which put ahuti is Brahman, that which gets burnt is also Brahman. What is left over? Brahman. Brahman தான் doer, Brahman தான் burnt. What will be left? Brahman only. சுத்தி கடைசியில் நீங்க அதுக்கு வந்துட்டேன் சார், அந்த enlivening. But then you have to talk about the enlivening factor. If you don't talk about that, we are teaching asatyam. enlivening factor வந்து conclude பண்ணாதான் the truth is taught. Otherwise asatyam is taught. Don't worry, நம்மலாம் enlightened ஆக மாட்டோம், but at least we will understand this. சரியா?